My name is Marek Rudak. I'm a love proficiency coach. My goal with these videos is to mobilize your heart to be an asset in personal and professional relationships. Thank you so much for being here. I am so glad that you're here in my YouTube channel. Thanks again. Today what I'd like to do is like to talk about the practical side of an article that is linked right below called A Brilliant Idea in a Landfill. And interestingly enough, the practical side was inspired by me watching a Hollywood movie, but it's a movie based on true facts, so that makes it okay, right? We'll see. So the movie that I saw with my wife and my mother-in-law last Friday was Breakthrough, and the basic idea of the movie it's a story of a boy who fell through the ice and was underneath water for about 15 minutes, which is essentially a death sentence in a sense that when your major body organs like the brain or lungs or liver don't get oxygen for over 10 minutes, even if you get brought back to life, it could it severely damages them. And that's only it. And that's assuming a big if that you can be brought back to life after being this long away from oxygen. And so that's what happened. And so in this whole movie, the doctor community is saying that, hey, we're doing our best, but please lower your expectations, because again, even if the boy gets brought back to life, it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be really ugly if even that assumes that he survives when he's being brought back to life. But his mom, she would not take it. She just believed, declared, prayed, and her example mobilized a lot of people. In fact, one of the things that her example mobilized was a Facebook page which had all these thousands and thousands of followers that kept praying, believing. And so all these prayers collectively caused this miracle where the boy not only was brought back to life, but within 2 or 3 weeks after hospital, he was able to play a basketball game, no damage whatsoever. And the doctor was like, wow, I mean, his lungs were full of blood and now they're clear and perfect. It just didn't make any sense. So definitely a miracle by any stretch of an imagination. Now, one of the subplots within the movie was the relationship between the boy and the mom. The boy was adopted, and especially in the early portion of the movie, there's a lot of scenes where the mom is doing her best to show love to the boy, but the boy just kept pushing her aside, ignoring her. And that really hurt her, because she really wanted to love that boy. She really wanted that boy to feel loved, and it seemed like the more she tried, the more it backfired on her, and it really caused her a great heartache. I'm guessing that because the boy was Latino, the family was Caucasian, maybe there was just a lot of external things that told the boy a story that, hey, because I don't look like my parents, I'm not loved, and my parents rejected me. And so the fact that I look in the mirror and don't match my parents is a clear indication that there's something wrong with me. And the reason why I'm guessing that is because even though I was not adopted, I could really relate to that movie in a sense that my dad didn't live with us, which I guess, unfortunately, these days it's fairly common, but back in Common's Pond, that wasn't heard of. It's like everybody's like, why is your dad not living with you? And then later on, my dad passed away fairly young, and I was the only kid without a dad. And all these things that happened to me, I interpreted as there was something wrong with me. And because I interpreted there was something wrong with me, it made me feel like whatever idea that comes out of me must be damaged as well. And going back to that title of article, A Brilliant Idea in a Landfill, I was full of these brilliant ideas, but because my sense of identity, my mind was telling me my identity is damaged, they remained in that landfill unused, because I thought that people would reject them just as I thought I was rejected as a child. Now, the reason why I bring it up, my friends, is because I'm pretty quite sure your story is different, but you can relate to it. Unfortunately, all of us have different things happen in our lives that affect our identity, which in turn affects our perception of how good our ideas are, how good our products are, which tends to have us play it safe and stay in the bag because we think that we're just not capable. And so that, in the movie, that relationship was transformed when the boy went through this experience of nearly dying, and he realized how much his mom loves him, and that made the difference. And isn't it also in a way unfortunate that it takes almost near-death experiences for our perception to change? And so that made me wonder, is like, what can we do to make sure that we change those faulty perceptions that our brain are telling us without have to go through these traumatic experiences? Like for me, for example, my traumatic experience was a divorce. And one of the things that I think is very important is to do things in spite of fear. So one example for me specifically is making these videos. I used to be terrified of making these videos. It took me about 2 years to try to record one, and even when I first started, it would take me multiple takes, like 3 or 4 hours, just to produce a 3 minute movie. It was just mind blowing because I was just so self conscious and so perfect. My mind was so perfection oriented. And so, my friends, I'm sure that all of us can identify those stories that have impacted our identity, which in turn makes us think that our products are not that good. And so, what I would encourage you as part of this video is identify those things that you're really afraid of doing. Like for me, it was the making videos, and see what you can do. Take a step of faith to do it anyway. Like for example, me, just put out the videos out there. No, doesn't matter how many people watch it. It's all about putting things out there to prove to myself that hey, I can do it, and open up myself to the Holy Spirit's inspiration to do whatever the Holy Spirit wants to do to take it. But hey, at least I'm gonna do my part to open up myself to God's grace and be open to where He takes these products, these brilliant ideas that are within me. And so it's not so much about being brilliant as judged by others, because that's where the problem comes into play. It's about me putting out there something that I believe the Holy Spirit is telling me to do, and I'll see where the Holy Spirit takes it. So my friends, I hope this video added some value to you. If it did, please share and subscribe. And until next time, God bless, and talk to you soon.